Hi Cancer, and welcome to your Soul Manna video. This reading is going to bring forth messages Spirit would really like to highlight for you to help bring clarity, understanding, encouragement, and healing in some area of your life where you may be in a struggle, you may be confused, or you just have a wound that won't stop hurting and you don't know what to do about it. So if any of those scenarios speak to you, Cancer, this reading is for you. So let's see what Spirit wants to talk about when it comes to Cancers. Oh, okay. I was going to shuffle a bit more, but stop right there. What do we have? Ooh, we have the ant totem, compromise. So Cancer, what Spirit's bringing up here is situations that have involved other people. Now, this could be where you feel you have compromised far too much to the point of self-sacrifice, okay? Or this could be where Spirit's saying, listen, Cancer, though you are wise and you are often correct and know the way and are the leader of the pack, this time maybe compromise a little bit. Even if you're like, I don't know that's the right way, there's some element here where Spirit's like, open up to this new idea, open up to this new concept, because it's actually going to be far more beneficial than you recognize right now, okay? So those are the two strongest scenarios that are coming through right off the bat, but we're going to pull a lot more cards, so we'll see what else comes out. But Spirit's bringing healing to those of you who have really felt as though you've compromised out of unconditional love for the sake of the greater good, trying to be the bigger person, and just feeling incredibly burned and used in that process. And I'm getting chills, so I feel that's probably the strongest message here for Cancers, is that aspect, that element of you, that unconditional giver, healer, empathizer, where it's very hard to say no because you feel the need and you're like, I can handle that, I can help right there. And oftentimes you end up feeling quite burned, and so it's left you in a state of confusion. Maybe even it has compromised your relationship with Spirit a little bit, okay? Like, what's going on, Spirit? You know, this really isn't fair. So let's pull some more cards here, Cancer. All right, so you actually have two cards coming out. First one is you are very protected, okay? So even though there's a lot of situations where you did not feel that's the case, it is the case. You are protected, you are guided. And what sits next to that is the Buddha. Well, what's the Buddha? The Buddha is a very wise old soul, somebody who channels a lot of wisdom and information from the spirit realm. And this isn't like where you're channeling one spirit or talking to passed on loved ones. This is where you are connected into the collective consciousness of man overall as a whole, also accessing the Akashic records, all right? And this is all at a soul level, and that's why you are so wise and you often know the way, or you have the solution or the answer, because you are the Buddha. You're able to connect in to a lot of information that many other people can't. And that's why, Cancer, sometimes you go in to do these jobs where you end up feeling kind of burned. It's because you're the Buddha. You are teaching the lesson. And sometimes, you know, people don't like their mentors. People don't like the teachers that Spirit puts in their lives because it forces them to face some core issues that they don't want to deal with, all right? So what Spirit's saying here is, no matter what you've been through, what you've faced, I will always protect you. I will always catch you. You know, there is reward for you that comes with this spiritual work that you do. And some of you, I don't even get the sense that you realize how much spiritual work you are doing on the daily. Some of you obviously more aware, But some of you, you don't know. You really don't know how deeply you impact others, how your energy by itself rattles them, shakes them, triggers them, and forces them to face some things within that they don't want to deal with, all right? Cancer is the soft inside, but the incredibly hard shell on the outside. Doesn't mean you don't feel things. In fact, you feel things incredibly strong. However, you have the shell, the protection, a strength about you that other signs do not possess, an emotional strength, an ability to endure quite a bit, emotional challenge that most other people could not handle. And as a water sign, you filter through all of those experiences and you transmute them and you turn them into something else as they leave your energy field. And you've got to recognize how special you are and what it takes to be able to do that. And you've got to look at it as maybe jobs, okay? Each zodiac sign has it as a specific job for spirit, whether they're aware of it or not. And with Cancers, you guys are made the way you're made because of what you are capable of doing. And, you know, if you have this incredible job that's challenging, that should give you a hint of the soul behind the avatar that has signed up for this journey as a Cancer, transmuting a lot of different energies that you will encounter throughout your lifetime. But your reprieve, whether you recognize it or not, is the fact that you do have that access to the collective consciousness of man. You do have that ability to empathize, and many empaths, it's because you use it for good. It stops there. You feel people and you see where the healing needs to take place, where they need a shift in consciousness. Like, you just know, you understand, okay? But there's an element of that where you need to learn how to better discern so you can see what needs to happen, but better recognize how close you are to that person or the process, okay? Because some of your spiritual work can be done at a distance, and you don't have to be so up close and personal. It's like the difference of discerning between what's an acquaintance and what's a friend. A friend is somebody where you guys are going to mutually give and take from each other and grow. An acquaintance is somebody who's either A, going to teach you a lesson, or B, you're going to teach them a lesson. No matter who's teaching, we're both going to grow and expand from the experience. And I feel that some of you need to work on that discernment so that you can not get so emotionally involved in somebody who's just an acquaintance, just a lesson, okay? And because you just feel, and once you feel, it's like, there you are. Spirit's saying feel, but know where the boundary is. There are some people where you've got to just see what's there, and maybe you can't do anything about it, because at the end of the day, it has to be an inside job for anybody to truly change or heal. You're just the example. You're just the inspiration. And some people you need to inspire from afar rather than up close and personal, because they will only harm you. Their consciousness is just not at the place to meet you, all right, where you are, what you offer. But you align to these energies because you're a natural healer. You have this compassion and understanding about you that many people need to experience, okay? Because the people who are mean and using and taking, oftentimes they're just a reflection of all the trauma they have encountered throughout their lifetime. And you, it's not to say you haven't encountered as much trauma, you just have a natural ability at a soul level to transmute those experiences in a much easier fashion, even if it feels hard, than they do, okay? This is why some people eventually can get over things and heal and expand and move on, where other people just are hung up forever in this one space. It's about soul evolution and the willingness to go with spirit and to expand consciousness and not control. That's very soul-based, and that's who you are. So that's why you move through this stuff in a different way than most other people. You're the inspiration to show them, you know, you can overcome, you can be XYZ. But again, it's an inside job. So let's pull some more cards, Cancer. All right, so we have a small gift coming out. We have a special concession because I care. We have nosy. We have feeling trapped. And we have the workplace. All right, so Cancer, with these cards coming out, many of you, I feel there's some uncomfortable relationships in the workplace, or there's some unfairnesses, some injustice that has happened to you. And with nosy here, this is a very troublesome person, okay? It's somebody who's always causing trouble for everybody, is up in everybody's business, is gossiping. Like, they gossip to you about everybody, so you better believe, Cancer, that they're gossiping about you to other people. This type of person, this type of energy, very manipulative, very controlling. It's only because they're quite insecure. That's why they've got to know everybody's business. They're looking for things to hold over people's heads. It's like, let me get close to you, let me get to know you so that I can learn how to manipulate you, how to use you, what your buttons are. You know, it's just a nasty energy. And so I feel with the way this is playing out, some of you have been working really hard to either move on from heartache from a person like that, or you're like in the workplace now, or in some situation very closely involved where it's like you can't get away from this person because, you know, feeling trapped is right next door. So it's like, Spirit, I can't take it. I can't take it. And Spirit's like, yes, you can, Cancer. You are strong. You are wise. Come into your wisdom and find the solutions there, because you will. And with small gift and special concession, I feel this goes a couple different ways. This person, I feel you see them as having favor, and even though they just cause all this turmoil, it's like the manager or the uppers just don't see it. And gosh, Spirit keeps reminding me of this coworker I had, so I'm going to tell you about her. She was a bowl of cherries, let me tell you. She was, she is the one that let me know that I don't belong in the corporate world. I really need to be doing spiritual work full time. She was the type of person that she was very selfish, narcissistic, just raunchy. Like, I can't even tell you the things about her behaviors and her personal hygiene, and I can't even go there. Like, there was that, but her personality, it's like she always had to have somebody that she was hating on in the office. The first girl she was hating on eventually got fired. The second girl she hated on got fired because she was in tight with our boss. We could never figure out what was going on there. We had some suspicions, but you know, whatever. And it's just like she would be so raunchy to everybody. Oh, even we had this FedEx representatives come in because we had to learn a new system for the accounting and just how different things were going to be built. And the FedEx representatives straight up got up, walked out, and said they couldn't deal with her because she's just one of those people that wants to be hard and difficult and push your buttons and trigger. And she knows everybody's business. And she would want to be close to you when you were down and out, okay, so that she can get your information. And then once you're doing good, all of a sudden she's stabbing you in the back and trying to use everything that you were hurting over against you now. It was just awful. So Cancer, I see some of you dealing with that type of person. And let me tell you, and this is why Spirit brought it up to bring out in this reading, what I had to get real with myself, because across the board. I was loving, I was giving, I was fair, I was compromising, I was trying to live my light, do the best I could do. I was, working with my channel a little bit, but it's just like that was there, and I was like, why is this there? And then Spirit's like, you know why it's there. And I had to get real and say, you're right, Spirit, I do know why it's there. I had a lot of hatred and anger and hurt and unresolved feelings from a relationship that spanned well over a decade of my life, and it ended really badly. I got incredibly burned just to find out in the end it was never really a real thing for him. I just had things that he wanted and was convenient for him at that time. And unfortunately, many years of my life were spent that way. And when it all came to an end, it was very shocking and hard. And so I was quite bitter and angry for quite a long time. And even though in every other area of my life I was on point, there was that place within me that contained the anger, the darkness, the hurt, the rage for this man and what he had done to me and what he had put me through. So I started focusing on that, healing that. Cancer, what is it in your life where you're holding on to some hurt, some resentment, some darkness, some feelings that just aren't kind? Okay, it's not that you're acting out on them, but they're within you, okay, because they're not resolved. Where is that in your life? Because whether this is a person or a situation in your reality, once you can resolve that area of yourself where these darker emotions exist from things that have happened in the past, you are freed. I promise you. As I worked on it, I ended up getting a different job. It just kind of came out of nowhere, and I was done with that chick, never seen from or heard of again. Well, I can't say heard of again. Actually, it's crazy how things go through the grapevine and come back to you. Let's just say she eventually got hers because she was just awful to so many people. Oh my gosh. And I don't wish bad on anybody, but what she did to everybody is exactly what happened to her. And the way that I got to find out about it was incredibly interesting. So Spirit brings stuff back around. Cancer, would you walk the straight line? Would you do what you know you've got to do? And you leave vengeance up to Spirit, up to Lady Karma, okay? Lady Justice. You'd be surprised what happens and the way things go. It is never worth lowering yourself and participating in that behavior. In fact, it's better that you turn away from that person and go inside and say, oh my gosh, how is this manifesting? Where am I off emotionally? Where am I angry? Where am I hurt? What's going on here? Because I promise, once you face that, the issue, the person, Spirit just takes them out of your life, okay? And whatever this is, person or situation, you have really, really tried, Cancer, to make it work, to make it right. And Spirit's saying you can't go about it in the physical. You've got to go to your heart. You've got to go to your soul on this one and see what needs to be worked on in that space, because that is the ultimate freedom. And you might think not, but I'm telling you, Cancer, working on resolving those feelings, which you are a natural at, okay, that's going to set you free. That's going to get rid of this feeling trapped. And if you're unhappy in your job, again, it's like the shifting of consciousness, believing bigger, because actually your next card would be believe big. Okay, so if you're very unhappy in your workplace, Spirit's saying believe much bigger in yourself and what's possible for you. Let go of coulda, woulda, shoulda, or that wasn't fair. Let all of that go and focus on what could be, because Spirit's like, I want to give you a special concession. You absolutely deserve it, okay? And not just that, I want to attach a gift to that, Cancer. I want to reward you. but you've got to resolve these issue of emotional imbalance within about a person or situation so that you can rise above. And when you rise, it's like the different experiences open up for you. Spirit's on your side. You are not wrong, okay? So let's clarify, Cancer. All right, so we have mind change, inner voice. Do you know what this tells me? That yes, you need to change your mind and feelings about something that's happened. And it's not like a defeat or that you say, yeah, that was fair and I just need to get over it. No, you're saying, this is harming me by holding on to this and I want to let it go so I could just be free of it. You know, it's not like, hey, yeah, that was totally acceptable what happened. No. And maybe that's what you got to change your mind about, is that forgiveness and acceptance isn't saying it was okay. It's saying I'm ready to be done with this. I don't want this to hurt me and haunt me anymore, Spirit. What do I need to do? Listen to that inner voice, Cancer. All right, next out, letting go, 555. So, yeah, we've already discussed what needs to be let go of, right? Some person or situation where you felt incredibly burned. It's time to let it go. 555 is the number of change, of challenge, of a transition taking place. So let it happen, Cancer. Let the past go. And 29, 9, 10, 11. 11 is the number of Spirit for me personally. So here's Spirit saying, hey, do you hear me speaking inside? Let's let this go so that we can move on to bigger and better. Yeah, because look at this, the harvest. And the sign of this is Virgo. So with this, Cancer, I feel that Spirit's saying between now, because, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I didn't mention this in the beginning. This video is for May 16th through 31st. Cancer's saying between now and when the sun moves into Virgo, which is at the end of August, is when all of this is really taking place and the change within you is happening, because you don't just get over something in a minute. It's a process, right? It takes time, and now your attention is being drawn to that. So you're becoming much more aware, and day by day you're going to work through it, and you're going to get there, and you're going to be happy because there's a good harvest showing up for you. And look at that, beyond 3 months of the timing. Yep, so when the sun moves into Virgo, which is 3 months from now, that's when we have this big payoff, this big, like, you're working between now and the end of August, you're working on shifting your energy, Cancer, and rebalancing yourself here. And by the time the sun moves into Virgo, there's a new job, or this person is gone from the workplace, or there's just a lot of big changes, and you're happy and you're good. And it's, you know, oh, and look at Spirit's like, I'm gonna play with you. The Future card is like, I'm not going to give you any more details about this because I want to surprise you. I want it to feel magical. Spirit does not always give everything, and with the sign being 000, this is like an entire new cycle, new path, new manifestation, brand new beginning, all right? And then 38 would be 11 again, right? So there's a Spirit saying the future, I know about it, and you need to trust me in it. If you see 000, that's a confirmation of that. And what I'm getting as far as signs for you guys is you need to listen to your intuition. And you, if you're seeing 555, that's letting you know you're going through the challenge, you're going through the change right now, you're shifting and transmuting the energy. And what are you doing that for? Well, it's leading you into this harvest, this beautiful new cycle, sometime between August and September. And that's all Spirit wants to say about that, because it's such a positive thing, and Spirit wants to surprise you, okay? That's pretty awesome, Cancer, that Spirit wants to surprise you, and that's how good it is. So let's pull you some advice. All right. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Cancer, that cannot be a better card. And 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's card 47. There is Spirit again. Cancer, oh my gosh, I am surprised. And I just was like, let me see what the next card would be. Well, it's not like Spirit, but look, it's another 47. And the card for your advice is 47. 11, that is Spirit. My gosh. Anyways, for synchronicity, okay? That's your advice. Pay attention to the synchronicities. Pay attention to the signs. I found you after the storm. Like, wow, Cancer. What I see here is Spirit saying there is some really good stuff up ahead. Spirit's like wanting to surprise you, okay? But there's some energy within that you've got to work on letting go of, because whatever this is, I found you after the storm, whether this is job, new friend, new romance, just new situations all the way around. It comes after like all of this, all right? So if you were like, I want to give up, this is just never going to change, it is. We've just got to work on letting go right now, because Spirit has something very nice planned for you, Cancer, and it comes after you've been through quite a bit, and you have like 11 just showing up all over in your reading. So I would say 11, 11, 11 is also significant for you guys, okay? So Cancer, those are your messages. I'm wishing you all the best. Take care.